Greeting interwebs, this is Jackie K, and welcome for another edition of Pokémon XG Next Gen. Last time, well, the very previous thing I did was purify some Shadow Pokemon, but the main thing we did was take on Pyrite Gym because I completely forgot about it until the post game. Needless to say, it was as easy as it sounds doing that sort of thing that late into the game. Today, on our list of places with Shadow Pokemon we need to snag is Pyrite Town. And oh boy, this is definitely going to be multiple videos if they had the luxury of putting a Shadow Pokemon behind every trainer you can fight in here. I might as well start with Kale, because if anyone in this town has Shadow Pokemon, it's either Kale or Dual Square. Probably both. Okay, Cal, just having a random Latios. Sure, this is gonna be another Biker Willy situation, isn't it? Ready for it? Indeed, it is! Cool. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about the Lati twins existing. So, of course they're Shadow Pokemon. We've caught every other legendary except for them, Mewtwo, and Mythicals if we want to count them. I do have Pokeballs, but I don't think I'm quite prepared. I only have like catching a legendary Pokemon levels of Pokeballs on my side. The best part is that it's gonna have a low catch rate and be devastating, and I gotta fight an entire team on top of it. And I didn't reorganize my team before going into the fight. Great! Shadow Madness. Got all the glorious good stuff on my way. I'll admit, kind of feeling a little bit tired. Probably was for the best that I decided to do this instead of a live stream. Because I'm probably not even going to get through all of the trainers here before moving onwards. Cool. I'm on a timer now. Now I have even less reason to try to chip away the Latios, because the less health it has, the more opportunities that I have to just fail. I do have one Shade Ball left, but my gut's telling me to save it for the last Shadow Pokemon. Because surely if there's Latios here as a Shadow Pokemon, there's at least one other Shadow Legendary afoot. But first, let's see if the burn is enough to actually catch this thing on the first Pokeball. It won't be, but we can be optimistic about it. Nope. Sorry, the part of my brain that likes the focus mode part of my brain has swapped on, which means the part of my brain that is actually able to talk about other stuff while I'm playing has been turned off, because they're the same light switch. It'd be like having the lights on and off at the same time. It's just not a thing that you can really have happen. Fine, I guess I'll weaken it a little. No. I'm gonna end up doing damage to both of them with Rock Slide anyways. So I might as well. Like, we can all agree that I'm not gonna catch this thing, because by the time I get low enough health to be catchable, it'll faint to the burn. So we can all just agree that that's essentially an impossibility, right? Surely I can. I claim that I can't, but surely I can fill the time while we're waiting for our demise with a little bit of story time. Random thing that comes to mind, but I guess because I'm staring at them on my desk. I wonder how those rumors about Persona 4 remade are panning out. It's been a while, it's been a hot minute since I last heard anyone talk about it. But surely that's a factor going on in the background, right? What am I talking about? They're freaking rumors. Of course there's nothing we can prove about it going on in the background. I don't know. That's the tiredness of me speaking. Maybe even the optimist or the wishful thinker. I don't know. The point is that it kind of just slipped out of my mouth without even thinking about it. Because as far as I know, it could just be doing the rumor mill. Wow, that thing was easier to catch than frickin' Shadow Farfetch. A level 1 Farfetch was harder to catch than that Latios. To be fair, I'm grateful that it was easier to catch than the Latios, but it's still a little bit unnerving, gonna be frank. I was certain that it was not gonna be that easy. What was I saying, Persona 4? Yeah, as far as I know, the rumors only started because they recently did a Persona 3 remake, so 4 would be the next step forward because clearly Persona 1 and 2 do not exist. I'm sorry to the 2 fans in all of existence of Persona 1 and 2. No, that's too mean. Persona 1 and 2 fans, I see you. Atlas doesn't see you, but I see you. And I'm sorry you have to put up with the world constantly ignoring your favorite games. But I'll be honest, don't think I can make the sacrifice of... If I had to choose between Persona 4 getting a remake and Persona 1 and 2 getting a remake, I'm gonna go with Persona 4. It's just way too sentimental and close to my heart, and I was gonna say it didn't age that great. Then I remembered that the little bit I know about Persona 2 is the antagonist of Persona 2. I'm gonna just leave it at that. We do not need to elaborate any further. Why? The fact they got away with it. Oh my god, I need to stop talking about it. How? How? Yeah, Persona 4 is such a great game in my heart, and I feel like we've grown so much as a society since the release of Persona 4 that if they could just slightly redo the story to take out the few things that feel like that feel incredibly rude, if not flat out offensive, in this day and age, then I feel like those games would be timeless in of themselves. I don't even know if I want to bring that up. Point being, we've defeated Rocal, and I realized that I just cannot talk today. At all. Now I'm gonna go stuff that Latios in a purification box and heal my Pokemon, because Cal didn't quite beat me as hard as Ryder Wheelie of all things, but still gave me a decent beating. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but still. I guess over here, I can take a look at this Latios before I never take a look at it again. Shadow Soul, Madness, Hunter, decent set of Shadow moves. I almost wonder if I should use it. Just we're coming near the end of the game, and we're catching the last of the Shadow Pokemon, so my opportunities to actually use them are becoming fewer and further between. I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now, but then again, I'm kind of in this tired limbo that I'm not really feeling much of anything. Well, we'll see. Right now, I'm going to just focus on getting these other Shadow Pokemon that are inevitably here. I should probably talk to everyone, because there's some trainers that are not on the square that you still fight. Oh, where's Wallflower? Yeah, where's Wallflower Lady? I guess she's only in Coliseum. I guess that's just a case of the Ore games, my memories of both of them blending together. So, I guess it really is just Cal and the square. Which means they all have Shadow Pokemon, there's no doubt about it. Because I can't believe I accidentally bought fresh water. Yeah, I guess I will be knocking this out tonight anyways. Well, where do I start? I guess if I end with the big bulky guy. That'll be the easiest renumber. Also, shoot, I didn't save after getting the Latios. It's fine. You can rematch these guys. What? Okay, I completely forgot about the existence of the Deoxys. For some reason. I guess that's in the game too! As a shadow Pokemon. Let's not kid ourselves, it's definitely a shadow Pokemon. At least this one's only a level 45. There's a team's at level 60. Cool. Cool. Make it as annoying to catch as possible, why don't ya? Dang, it's like Flame Trap would be decent for walling the Deoxys, but at the same time, I don't feel too cheeky about that Poliwrath staring me down. No offense to Talon Swift, but I'm a little unconfident if it can just one-shot a Poliwrath. I should have never lost Fate. Anyways, I guess I should... Since I'm probably gonna cut it out because it felt like a mess, let's talk about Persona 4 a bit more. Because, like, that... I got that game... It has a soft place in my heart because it's one, like, what I call the Holy 3 college games that I played. And it kind of was, like, my first taste into what the psyche and emotions are about. And the whole social link system kind of has a soft place in my heart. It's like a big inspiration for what I would love to do with my own game someday. I don't know, trying to make a class system like Golden Sun and incorporate a social link system when you're not in a life sim and you're actually progressing through like a normal RPG might be way too much of a feat, but that is the dream scenario. Yeah, I guess Heat Wave's decent chip damage. I'll go for that again. So yeah, I guess with remaking Persona 3, the next logical step would be to remake Persona 4, because Atlas doesn't like to acknowledge 2 and 1 existing, and we've been through that part already. I would be curious to see the older Persona games with the social link system, because to me, like, the social link system is what separates Persona from your general RPG. And I guess if you're already a big RPG fan, that's not a huge deal to you. But for me, like, the whole... I can't blame Atlas for focusing on 3 and beyond, because to me, the whole social link system was what made Persona worth playing in the first place. There's countless other RPGs out there for those other people. And I was hesitant before because I don't want to come across like elitist. If you like Persona 1 and 2 more, that's perfectly fine. I'm just expressing my personal feelings on the matter. I was gonna say, wait, did Flame Champ faint again? But no. Does he actually like to use not Circle Throw? Also, why did I not use Spore on, you know, the Pokemon I'm trying to catch? I just realized that after it was too late. Oops. To be fair though, that Weezing would have been a problem if I left it out there. I have 2 Pokemon, both weak to poison. And with how this thing's been spamming Circle Throw, Funland will probably come back out before the end of this battle anyways. I'll have a chance to put it to sleep then. I forget if Weezing's a physical or a special wall. I guess we're gonna find out together. I don't know. If it wasn't for the elephant in the room with Persona 2, I wouldn't mind seeing them try to implement those older games with the social link element. I'm not even sure if they would work with the social link element. I just know that they're more Shin Megami Tensei games than they are Persona as I personally know it. So as far as I know, wouldn't really be a way to implement it into those games anyways. Yeah, trying to change it back to some of the other stuff I want to talk about earlier. Because there was definitely things I wanted to talk about, but I'm kind of just drawing a blank on the matter now. Not the thing I was thinking about, but it feels kind of wild that I'm living through like this resurgence of Skylanders. Like, I remember that being a kid thing that I took interest in, even though I was probably too old for it, just because of the concept of being able to use your own toys in a video game. Man, what I would have done to actually grow up with that sort of concept, that would have been amazing. That's kind of just my perspective on the Skylander series. Like, it's something that I saw. I didn't have friends that played the games, so most of my exposure to it was through those playthroughs, and the fact that it was right in the middle of my custom amiibo phase. I can't believe I'm calling it a phase, but I guess it would. I don't do it anymore, and I was real into it at the time, so I guess it technically fits. That just makes it sound bad. It feels disrespectful to call it a phase, because I did incredible stuff in that time frame, and I still look back on that era of my life fondly. So, is it really still worth calling it a phase, even if it was temporarily? The memories live on forever, and in a positive light. Wow, that was the worst. I'm sure I've had worse tangents, but that is up there. And all that to say, look, Skylanders came out right in the middle of my time with making custom amiibos, and Skylanders would end up in the bargain bins more often, so I did some experimentations with customizing Skylanders because I could get them for cheaper, and I did some pretty cool things with them. They came to my mind as we speak because I also have a whole bunch of Skylanders sitting on this shelf, specifically of the ones that I customized to look like other Pokemon. If I'm feeling ambitious enough in the editing, I'll include some photos. It's been a while, and it would be nice to share them more often. Half of the VODs I've been going through on YouTube are some live streaming where I was just painting some of the Skylanders that I was working on. And I guess I've been hesitant to upload that because I have to actually sit down and watch the VODs to make those are actually done with a camera, and I gotta make sure that they're good to go before I upload them because they were recorded with a camera. I'll just leave it at that. But it is something I do want to share. Dang it, I want to get this, speaking of wanting to do, I want to get this Deoxys to sleep. But that does not seem like it's gonna line up that way. At least not easily. At least I'll be able to get all of his other Pokemon down and turn this into a 2v1. That should be good. Now I'm gonna definitely need to heal up after every single one of these battles, aren't I? I just get unlucky. Unless like they each have a form of Deoxys, but I don't think it works like that in the Gamecube games. I think in Gen 3, Deoxys forms were determined by the version of the game you were playing. So I'm pretty sure if you were to transfer any Deoxys over to Coliseum or XD, they would all have the same form. I was really hoping to just circle throw my Funland out here so I could actually put you to sleep. I guess in the meantime I can throw a Pokeball. Here goes Simpson. A 1... Nope. Definitely gonna be to my favor if I get this thing asleep or lower in health. How I'm gonna do the latter though is kind of like up in the air. I guess I could put it to sleep and then like do one Drain Punch. Oh hey, that works in my favor. That's the Pokemon I wanted out here anyways. Well, since I need a turn to put it to sleep anyways, let's see how this goes. Something tells me not any better than the last throw. 2? Not gonna lie, you got my hopes up after that second shake. But I'm really pretty optimistic, like... surely, if it was shaking that much before I put it to sleep, then after putting it to sleep and hitting it with a Drain Punch, I'll be able to get this Pokemon just fine, if not even sooner. Okay, so surely this won't knock it out. It's resisted. Drain Punch isn't exactly a powerful move, especially considering my other options. But if I can catch this thing before chipping it down, I won't complain. That works just as well for me. Here goes something. One. No. I'll be fair, I thought we at least get more shakes now that it's actually asleep. But this is the magic area. I kinda wish I brought Swiper with me, because apparently I'm gonna need the chip damage. Frick. Not my Bloom. You know, fine. As long as I can just push it back to sleep, that's all I really care about at the moment. I guess the whole circle throw isn't even that scary anymore. I've gotten so much healing damage thanks to Poison Heal that I'm pretty sure this thing can't even knock me out anymore. Alright. I guess I'll see y'all when I actually catch this thing, because I'm not sure if I'm feeling ambitious enough to make counting down the Pokeball shakes entertaining every single time. Here goes something. Uno, dos. Yeah, it's just like barely in the range for one more Drain Punch. But that'd be way too close. Ugh. Just playing hot potato with my entire party, it seems. You know what, I'm not gonna need these nest balls for anyone. If I do need a nest ball, I can always buy more. I need something to do while I wait for to put it back to sleep again. Plus it'd be funny if it worked. Oh hey! You got bored of doing your moves. You actually decided to do something else. You seem to have an interesting gimmick. One that would have been fun to play around with if you actually decided to use that move before I've knocked out basically your entire team. You know what? Surely the timer ball is gassed up and ready to go. There's gotta be a better way to word it than that. Oh well, too late, cause watch, this is gonna be the time I actually catch it. A 1, a 2... Yeah. Will this be the moment? Will this be the time? I don't know what else I can do besides cry. You know, this has been so harsh. I'm half tempted to hit it with a Drain Punch anyways, even though it was a bad idea. Cause even if there's just a tiny chance I can get his health ever so slightly lower, I'd be willing to take it. I say that out loud, but now that I think more about it, I don't know if it'd be worth doing this whole battle again. Just because. So let's try this one more time. I should be doing everything I can to get this thing as low as it could possibly go. I just gotta be patient, I guess. 3... What do you know? My patience has been rewarded. Yeah, that took half an hour of itself, but I probably have so much to cut off. This will probably be like Old Man Town anyways, where I decide where to cut it off on my own. I keep forgetting about that. See you after I heal. See, look at here. It has a different sprite in the PC than it does in the field. There's no way they got multiple Deoxys here. Oh yeah, a whole move pool, but you were just insisting on throwing my entire team around like a ragdoll. Kinda wanna play around with this a bit, but man, like, are all your moves really that accurate? Oh, Bless is level 45, so nah, screw it. I was all ready to play with the Deoxys, but I don't think at that level. I mean, it is a legend, it is a mythical Pokemon, so maybe it's not as bad as I think. Alright. Surely I just get unlucky, and they don't all have Pokemon as dangerous as Deoxys. Right? I mean, Salamence is essentially a legendary. That's the worst that they have to offer, right? I do the long extended right, but I guess I'm so tired that my voice ends up cracking if I try to go all the way up. Ugh. This isn't exactly a great lead for any of us involved. Guess I'll put Salamence to sleep because it'd be more dangerous anyways. And... Sure, Swimmer Speed. Give me something to deal with the Salamence when it wakes back up inevitably. Yep. Gonna say saw that coming my way, but clearly I didn't because that wasn't the direction I went in. Weird. If I were you, I would have gone for a water type move. I get why you didn't, but still. Also, I just noticed that my grass type is my spore user is already out of commission. We've just gotten started. Actually, you're not really that much better of a counter for Swampert, right? Well, let's be fair, it's only weak to one type, and the Pokemon I have of that type is out of commission, so... Screw it, we're just balling, I guess. I swear, like, this whole recording session is gonna just come down to me, like, scouring my shelf for ideas of things to talk about. Even though I should have plenty to talk about. It's been quite a day. Like, I completely forgot about the fact that I even went for a walk in the morning. Oh, right! I was gonna say, it wasn't really that remarkable. The event going on in Pokemon Go is not too crazy. But no! Today was a crazy day! Because I just so happened to find a raid of an Ultra Beast and walk around. Happened to find enough people to invite to it to actually be able to beat it, and I got a shiny Disco Clown now. This makes my second shiny Ultra Beast ever? I don't recall getting a shiny Ultra Beast in Pokemon Go up to this point. Well, maybe Necrozma, if we're counting that, but I don't think Pokemon counts it as Necrozma in the Pokédex classification, only in the lore. Pokemon's weird sometimes. Point being, like, the only other Ultra Beast that I have in Pokemon Go, the only other shiny Ultra Beast I got was Buzzwole. Yeah, that's what it was. Back in the high times when everyone was actually doing Dynamax Adventure, pretty much when the DLC of Sword and Shield, where you could do Dynamax Adventures, came out, I happened to join in on someone's raid. Happened to go into Dynamax Adventures with people I knew at the time. They were hunting for shiny Buzzwole, so I joined in the fun of it, and I ended up getting the shiny Buzzwole, which is, when I say it like that, it's kind of sad that I took the RNG from them. But man, Buzzwole's a really cool Pokemon, and it's not my fault. If it's any assurance, I treasured that Buzzwole dearly, and it's a sentimental reminder of the good times from Dynamax Adventure in particular. So I am real glad that I was able to get it that day. I'm trying to think if there's even any other Dynamax legendaries. I've done so many Dynamax adventures, and yet, since then. Yet I think that's the only legendary, mythical, Ultra Beast, whatever we want to call the boss at the end of a Dynamax adventure, that I've gotten from any Dynamax adventure. So, the RNG in the end, the RNG leveled out to where everyone's pretty much equally unlucky. Shoot, and I was so ready to just Brave Bird that thing and be done with it. Of course, you're the Shadow Pokemon. I mean, Earthquake will still be a decent amount of damage. There's no way it's gonna work before whittling it down, but if I could just catch this thing now, that'd be awesome, because I already know what this is gonna do. It's not like I haven't been using my own mushroom Pokemon for the entire adventure. This thing is gonna just start spore spamming until everyone's asleep, and I'm just wasting my time waking everyone up. No, of course not. Like, you wouldn't put it right next to Deoxys if you didn't have a high-key plan to go through with the Pokemon. I just realized it's a Shadow Pokemon, so it's not gonna have Spore. But let's be real, it probably has a Shadow equivalent to Spore, because that's just the way this game works. No Shadow Spore. Not yet, at least. Also, I just realized, because that freaking Tyranitar had Sandstream, I'm kind of putting on a timer to catch this. Unless they follow like the main series game format and it'll actually just chip itself away. Sand might take you out anyways. If not the sand, then the Tyranitar is a freaking rock type. What I'm saying is, it's time to go out in the blaze of glory. It's been a while since you've done that, Talon Swift. So I don't play Nuzlocke. Pokemon Emerald Rogue gives me a hard enough time in and of itself. That's kind of why I've been growing a love-hate relationship with it. I did take a long break after recording and editing and uploading the Pokemon Emerald Rogue series, but I'm back with a run or two. And the one thing that I'm reminded of is just like, oh, the joy of having your own little adventure, building a team to go along the way, and then having it, like, all taken away from you. And one unfortunate battle where the opponent sweeps like half your team just as you started getting attached to everyone. That's the problem I have with Pokemon Rogue. I get way too attached to my Pokemon. Not in a literal sense, but in like a suspense of disbelief sense. I wonder if I could chip it away with a Dark Pulse. I probably shouldn't, but I'm willing to give it a chance, assuming the Ultra Ball doesn't do the trick. I guess you could say I shouldn't do a Nuzlocke. But I don't know, like, at least I feel like a Nuzlocke. This game's Emerald Rogue's a lot more fast-paced than a Nuzlocke. So I'm definitely losing Pokemon much more quickly, despite my best efforts to not lose them in Emerald Rogue. But also, I would never touch a hardcore Nuzlocke or a Nuzlocke of a hard ROM hack with a 10-foot pull. So I guess it evens out like that. Well, time to go heal up the team. And maybe take on another Shadow Pokemon before I lose my voice. I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it through all Battle Square before I have to stop. Before I completely let you go to the wayside, I gotta know. Oh, you only have Shadow Snooze. What a missed opportunity to just give you... Like, you probably have Spore as one of your Purify moves anyways, so it feels like a waste not to give you, like, a perfectly accurate sleep move. But then I guess it would just literally be Spore with no Shadow Edge. That hasn't stopped some of these other moves from existing. But still. And I think that'll do it for today. There's so many battles here, I think it's safe to divide it up into 2 separate videos. I kinda need extra time to work on editing these anyways. So thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Pokemon XG Next Gen. And the next time we meet, we'll finish up the battles in the square, getting the remaining Shadow Pokemon along the way. I've been Jackie K, and I hope to see you all for the next one. Take care.